Okay.
I'm ready.
All right, welcome. It's December 14th, 2021, and I'd like to open up the monthly meeting for the Rockland Board of Health. Those in attendance are Delshawn Flip, Health Agent, Christine Stewart, Board Member, myself, Scott Margolis. Cecilia DeRosa is unfortunately not available to come tonight, and a litany of guests. First item on the agenda is the Board of Health bill vouchers. Can everybody hear me with the mask, by the way? Okay, thank you.
You have the list of...
Yeah. Yeah, nothing's different with that. I'll take these.
Okay.
That's it. All right. I'd like to entertain a motion to accept the bills as presented.
Motion to accept bills.
All in favor?
Aye.
Done. All right. Next on the agenda are the trash abatements. Did you have a chance to look at the abatements?
I did.
Okay, it's,
Yep.
Yeah, it's our usual.
They look fine.
Snowbirds and vacancies. So.
Yep. No questions.
I would like to entertain a motion to accept the abatements as presented.
Motion to accept the abatements as presented.
All in favor?
Aye.
At the vote. Next on the agenda, under new business, hearings relative to tobacco control violations, STM Associates Corporation. Okay, so we do have some guests here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to read it? Do you want me to start? I'll start.
Yeah, when you go ahead, Delshon.
Okay.
We'll just double check what we got here.
On Monday, November 1st, 2021, on or about 11:30 a.m., I received a call stating that Mobile, located at 158 Market Street, has been selling mentholated cigarettes. During this call, a resident was at the door who overheard my conversation and confirmed this to be true. I placed a call to the South Shore Tobacco Coordinator, Kathleen Mahoney, to see if she would assist me on the complaint. We arrived at Mobile at 12:10 to verify the complaint. Upon entry of the establishment, we did note that it was very busy and waited for the clerk to introduce ourselves. When I explained to the clerk about the complaint I received, he denied and continued to assist customers. I asked him if he could close the door to be able to help us with the investigation. He would not close the door. There was no other clerk to assist. When I was able to get his attention, I explained to him again that we received a complaint that he was selling menthol-flavored tobacco from under the counter. The clerk stated I could check. When I looked under the counter, I did not see any product. During my conversation with the clerk, Miss Mahoney looked into the office to see if the owner, Tariq Mahmood, sorry, I apologize, was in the office. Mr. Mahout was not there. However, she did notice flavored backwoods on the desk, which gave her cause to continue to look for other products, and noticed a cardboard box that was partially opened and additional flavored products could be seen. She informed me of her observation. We opened the box and found a substantial number of products along with 4 cartons of menthol cigarettes. When I informed the clerk of the finding, he denied again, stated that those were items that were never returned. I again asked him with the product in hand and showed him the New Hampshire stamp on the cigarettes, and he then admitted he sells the mentholated cigarettes to an elderly lady in a wheelchair. Additionally, another small vinyl cooler was found with more products. I called the Rockland Police Department to assist on removing the items to a secure facility. Officer Malley arrived, and then when I received a call from Sergeant Scioli, who informed me that he would assist if I had trouble with the clerk, but could not take possession of the product. The product was placed in my personal vehicle and was brought to Rockland Town Hall to itemize all product that was removed. On November 3rd, the product was transferred to the Hanover Town Hall where they have a secured area to keep the product.
All right. So if I take anything out of order, let me know. But this violation is pretty severe. I mean, I saw the amount of product that was taken and secured. So for safekeeping, and it was a gross amount of product, all of which are against the law in the state of Massachusetts. We do have a couple people that have confirmed to us that this product is being sold from behind the counter. Let's see here. Kathy, do you have anything that you want to mention?
That says, a lot of things, but some of the products that I saw I've not seen before. And as I said, it was, as you stated, it was a huge amount of products that right there, as you walk from the counter to the back room, and that cooler that was there, that was open. So I was surprised at the amount and the different products that were there.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, and the variety of product. It wasn't just one or two brands of product and just a lot of it. It was multiple products, and also they were products that were also marketed towards kids,
Yes.
which,
One product that I think worried me was the vape that almost looks like an anime character, and that is what kids, especially around my son's age, is into.
Mhm.
So that certainly wasn't a product to have an adult stock smoke consumer. So I think that was alarming, and as I said, the amount in the different kinds.
okay. So, according to, and Kathy, if I do get the phrasing wrong, please correct me. But according to, state law, it is a mandatory $1,000 fine. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, first time offense, mandatory $1,000.
Right. So that is a state mandate. That's not up to the board to alter at all. Now, the owner is here, and your attorney. Okay, it's assumed as much. So, would you or the owner care to speak?
I would be happy to speak, but so at the outset, I did talk to Attorney Kenny in advance of this hearing. I just wanted to make sure that we were able to obtain a recording. And Attorney Kenny told me that it is being recorded, but
Yes.
I could also make my own recording. I just wanted to disclose that.
Oh, sure.
I was trying to say
Yep.
that before Ms. Flip spoke, or read her report, but I just wanted to let
Sure.
the board know that
Yep. Thank you.
I'm recording with Attorney Kenny's permission. I do have Mr. Mahmood here, the owner of the store. I have the clerk here, and I have Mr. Mahmood's wife, who was, contrary to what's in Ms. Flip's report, she was there as well, working at the store as well that day. And I'm happy to present our side of the story, but I would also respectfully request the opportunity to ask some questions of Ms. Flip and Ms. Mahoney, because I think that'll help illuminate what happened here. So whatever the board feels is the best way to proceed, whether you'd like to hear from me as to my client's version of events, or whether I would like the opportunity, though, at some point to ask some questions.
Sure. No, we do have some time, and we have time for a few questions. Sure.
Okay. I'll try to keep this brief. I have a longer outline, but let me just try to.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Flip, you're a health inspector for the town of Rockland, is that right?
I'm the health agent for the town of Rockland
A health agent. Okay. And how long have you had this job?
since 2019, March of 2019. I've been in the office since 2016.
Okay. So since March of 2019, it's been your responsibility to conduct inspections of the type that you conducted on November 1st at my client's store, is that right?
Yes, it is my responsibility to act on complaints.
Okay. Are you the only employee of the town who does that kind of work?
With the tobacco,
Yes.
just me, well, Kathleen.
Okay.
And I call for Kathleen's assistance.
Okay. And was this the first time you inspected the store?
For tobacco?
Yes.
Yes,
Are you aware if Ms. Mahoney had previously been to the store?
I am.
Okay. When was that?
I believe we had a report back in October.
Of 2021.
That's correct.
And did Ms. Mahoney go to the store in October of 2021?
Yes.
And did she find any violations to the best of your knowledge?
Nope.
And
It's also, she wasn't looking for contraband. She was doing her normal inspection.
okay. So is it fair to say that the reports you described in the first paragraph of the statement that you just read, you said there was a call stating that Mobile located 158 Market Street was selling mentholated cigarettes. It's fair to say that that call took place after the October inspection that Ms. Mahoney conducted?
That's correct.
Okay. And that was the first time you received a report of this nature about the mobile?
As in my capacity at work, yes.
Okay.
I've heard rumors as well, but no, nothing to back it up.
And as far as you know, this is the first time that the mobile has been cited for a violation of the tobacco law, is that right?
To my knowledge, yes.
Do you know how long the mobile has been operating at that location? Okay, just asking.
No.
Did you have to clear the decision to inspect the store with anyone before you went over there?
No,
Okay. And Ms. Mahoney was the only person who was with you that day?
that's correct.
And when you first entered the store, did you identify yourself?
I did.
Did you produce any credentials?
I have my badge, my identification card.
And where was that on you?
That day.
That day, I think it was clipped to my bag, I think.
Let me ask you another way. Did you present that to the store clerk?
Yes, he knows me. Yes.
Did you present that
I-
identification to the store clerk that day?
I don't remember.
Okay.
No.
When you first came into the store, did you see any illegal product on the sales floor around the cash register?
No.
Did you witness any illegal sales?
No.
Is this the first tobacco inspection, if I could call it that you've conducted during your time as health inspector?
As a complaint?
As a complaint?
No.
You had previous complaints, is that?
That's
have
correct.
You
Yeah.
investigated?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And have you ever conducted any sort of undercover buying operation at any of those prior complaints?
No.
Have you ever witnessed the selling of illegal products during any of those other inspections?
No.
So it's your practice to simply go in and interview the clerk and ask him about illegal product. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And in your experience, do the clerks admit to the illegal sales?
Well, this time he did.
And what if the clerk denies it? What do you do with that one?
Said, I just note that in the complaint, in my report, that he denies it.
Would you issue a citation anyway if they denied it?
Yes, I would. If I found material, yes.
If you found the illegal product?
Yes.
You're familiar with the regulation 105, it was 105 CMR 665, is that right? CMR 665. Are you familiar with those regulations generally?
Yes.
In your
I don't know
past?
the exact CMR numbers, yes.
But
But
what I'm referring to are the regulations concerning the tobacco laws in Commonwealth of Massachusetts. You're familiar with
I'm
those?
familiar with them, yes, but since COVID, I haven't really done anything. I've leaned on Kathleen a lot to assist me.
And when you say that, you mean you do the inspections together, or you
Nope.
have her do the inspections for you?
She's been doing the inspections for me.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge, do the laws concerning tobacco or the regulations prohibit mere possession of mentholated cigarettes or flavored tobacco products?
That would be a question that I would refer to Kathy.
Okay. If I could direct your attention to the, I believe Ms. Mahoney passed out this stack of papers. There's an Excel spreadsheet of some sort here, which is, as I understand it, an inventory of what was seized that day. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
Where in the statute, the general laws of the Commonwealth or in the regulations, is there authority to seize flavored tobacco products?
Well, we questioned our actions via the police department, and afterwards I believe Kathleen spoke to somebody at the state. That would be something, again, I would refer to Kathleen.
Okay. So, if I could turn your attention to the bottom of this list, that is on the third page. The last three item entries under planning one. there are 3 entries: Cool Blue, 1 carton; Pall Mall, 2 carton; Newport, 1 carton. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading that correctly?
Yep.
All right. Those are the mentholated cigarettes that you're referring to in your report. Is that correct?
Correct.
There were 4 cartons total. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And all of those cartons were sealed. Is that correct?
No. That's
Some
not
of the
correct.
cartons were open
They were opened, yes, because we were able to see the New Hampshire stamp on them.
on the packs.
On the packs, yep. They were opened.
Okay. And there were some packs of cigarettes missing from those cartons?
I don't think so, no. I think they were all full cartons.
They were full cartons?
Yeah, I believe so.
You didn't note on this inventory that any packs were missing, did you?
Well, I wouldn't know what packs were missing. No, I would have noted, we would have noted on there. We wouldn't have said 1 full carton. We would have just said a number of cigarette packs. We wouldn't have noted carton.
Right. And so because you noted carton, that meant that the cartons were full,
Full,
is that right?
correct.
Okay. And again, you didn't witness any of those mentholated cigarettes being sold, is that right?
I did not witness anything being sold.
And you didn't witness any of these other items, flying monkey or whatever, any of these other items in this spreadsheet being sold, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. You spoke with the store clerk who was working there, is that right?
That's correct.
And is that gentleman sitting immediately to the left of you, I believe?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Was he in a uniform that day?
I don't remember, sorry.
Was he wearing a name tag?
I don't remember.
Did you check his name at any point?
Yes, I believe yes, I did. No, yes, I did. And I couldn't remember what he said. We were having an exchange and he was still dealing with customers at the counter.
Did you note his name anywhere in this report?
I did not because I forgot it.
Now, in this, if I could turn your attention to the report that you read, it's dated November 2nd, 2021. In the second paragraph, you write, I asked him if he could close the door to be able to help us with investigation. What door are you referring to in that sentence?
The main door. The door to so I could have his attention.
The door to the store?
Yeah, the door to the
So
store.
you wanted to shut down the store?
I was asking him to stop and have a conversation with us, and he didn't.
Was anyone else working behind the register while you were there?
There was nobody else working behind the register. There was somebody that was stocking shelves, and it was a female, but I didn't know that she worked for Mobile or she was related to Mr. Mahood.
Okay.
I know that she was there, but I thought she might have been working for a company, Drake's Cupcakes or something, stocking the shelves. Because she didn't come up to me either.
Okay, you never witnessed her working the register that day?
I did not witness, unless it was when I was behind in the storage.
Did you ask for permission to go into the area behind the storage
I
area?
did, yep.
And is it your testimony that the store clerk gave you permission to go back there?
Yes.
Okay.
I asked him, yes, and he showed me underneath the counter. He said I could look.
Under the counter?
Yeah,
But what about in the back?
yep, he said you can look.
Okay. Were you the first person to go back, or was it Ms. Mahoney?
Miss Mahoney was.
And she was the one who found the products that are listed in this spreadsheet?
She was the one that noticed the backwoods, and she said, there's flavored backwoods on the desk. And then when I asked him about the clerk, about the flavored and the back, he said that that was getting boxed up to send back.
And is that what you were referring to when you said he denied to continue to assist customers in the November 2nd statement?
Yeah, my report is very vague. It's just, I had asked him several times, several items that we found, and he denied it. And he said he denied it. And then when I showed him, when we saw the New Hampshire tag on the cigarettes, I asked him, I said, please, just be honest with me. And I said, because, are these getting boxed up to leave? And he said, yes. And I said, well, these have New Hampshire stamp on them. And then he said, okay. I sell to a little old lady in a wheelchair to help her.
It's your recollection that you used the word sell?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Did he say when that was?
He did not say when it was.
He didn't say that it was before June of 2020, did he? Strike that. He didn't say that it was after June of 2020, did he?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry, can I just have a moment?
Sure, I was going to say maybe
I-
try and finish about 6:30. Just forget, give it
Yeah.
a time frame.
I'm almost
Yeah.
done. Just gonna take a look at those. That's all I have, I think, for Ms. Whip. But I'd also like to ask some questions from Ms. Mahoney if possible. Maybe 5-10 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes? Let's just proceed.
Go right.
Good evening, Ms. Mahoney. Is there anything that Ms. Flip testified to that you disagree with?
Not that I can recall.
You didn't witness any illegal selling either, is that right?
That's correct.
And the cartons of methylated cigarettes were full, is that right?
Yes, correct.
No packs were missing.
Correct.
You're a tobacco control officer with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, is that right?
Yes, I'm the social tobacco coordinator for that.
So you're familiar with the tobacco laws and regulations? And that would include 105 CMR 665? Okay. Where in the laws and regulations is there authority to seize mentholated cigarettes or any of the other products listed on this spreadsheet?
I can't answer that, I'm not a lawyer, but,
Okay.
excuse me, can you answer the question?
Okay, I looked at.
Well, I
Claire.
don't mean to interrupt your questioning.
If you could, I identify yourself, please.
Certainly.
Yep.
My name is Cheryl Savara. I am the Senior Staff Attorney and Executive Director of the Massachusetts Association of Health Boards, and I work pretty closely with tobacco control programs in Massachusetts and with the Department of Public Health. And if I could just give a brief history of why confiscation has become somewhat of an issue, but not a very big issue. It's because the Department of Revenue and the Department of Public Health are partnering right now since this law went into effect, because they are seeing a large increase in the amount of menthol products that are coming in from New Hampshire without stamps. So what they're trying to do is to set up communication between the Department of Public Health through their tobacco control programs and the Department of Revenue, so that when an inspector sees untaxed menthol products without a mass excise tax stamp on them, they immediately contact the Department of Revenue. And what normally happens is that the Department of Revenue comes to the establishment, seizes the products, and fines the retailer for all of the untaxed stamps that they had. In this case, when the tobacco control director called the DOR, she could not get through, even on the agent's cell phone. So as a result, she took the products to at least keep a chain of custody of the products, and then she inventoried them, etc. If she had been able to reach the DOR agent, they would have come and they would have confiscated the products and done their own fining on the products, according to the DOR agent and according to a warning letter that went out to the owner. So that's It's not in the regulation. It's an enforcement, well, it's a confiscation matter done in conjunction with the department.
And will that department go forward with their?
Now they will not, because the products were taken out of the store. If the
Okay.
inspector had left the products in the store, they would have come down and fined on those products and taken them all out of the store.
Okay. And that fine would be separate from
That would be
the,
separate,
from
absolutely.
this fine right here?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Do you have a question?
No, I was going to ask that question.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Good.
Sorry, thank you. Mrs. Mahoney, you inspected this mobile location in October as well, is that right?
Correct.
October 19th?
Yes.
Did you witness any illegal products that day?
No, I did not.
Did you issue any citation?
No.
Did you produce any paperwork related to that inspection?
No.
Is it true that Mr. Mahmood was there that day?
Yes, it is.
And did he ask you about one of the products that's listed on this spreadsheet, I think the flying monkey, is
Yes,
that
he
right?
did.
Yeah, okay. And what did he ask you?
No, I asked him, oh, this is a new product, I haven't seen it, and I purchased that product. And I told him I would look into it to see if it's illegal or not. And we since I found out that, yes, I can enforce that.
So when you came back in November, that product was no longer on the, where you had seen it in October, is that correct?
Correct.
Mr. Mahmood had taken it off the shelf.
Yes, correct.
And it was in a box in the back storage area of the gas station.
Yes.
When you were the first person to go in the back area, is that correct?
Yes, I was looking for him.
For Mr. Mahmood, based on the prior interaction you had with him?
Yes, and I often go back to see if there's anybody in the back room I can additionally talk to.
There was no one-
One time.
And there was no one back there on November 1st, is that right?
Correct.
And there was a box on the floor, is that right?
Yes, but I noticed the two boxes, the flavored backwards on the desk and the office door was open. That's the first thing I noticed.
And did you ask permission from the store clerk before going back there?
He was busy talking to Miss Lip, so I went back and looked for him.
Okay, so you went into the back without the permission of the store clerk, is that right?
Yep.
And had you identified yourself to the store clerk at that
Yes, I
point?
had my badge hanging on me.
Had you verbally identified yourself to him?
I believe I did, but I'm not 100% sure. He knows me. I've been in there a couple of times.
The gentleman in the black
Yes.
jacket and shirt.
And we said that we were here to do an inspection because we had received a complaint.
And there is a document not on letterhead. Looks like this. I can present a copy. I don't believe it's in your,
Oh, I think they have it. My board has it, I believe.
I got this from Mr. Kenny, so I hope it's not on the letterhead. And at the top it says Mobile 158 Market Street, Rockland, Mass. If I could approach it.
Sure.
Thank you. I have 2 copies.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You familiar with this document, ma'am?
Yes,
You wrote it?
yes,
And this was sent to the Department of Revenue, is that right?
yes.
At the end of the first paragraph, you write, Delshawn Flip, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, questioned the manager whether he had sold the menthol cigarettes to a customer. He admitted that he had to an elderly lady in a wheelchair.
Yes,
That's what's written there?
yes.
Did you overhear that conversation?
No, her and I had our notes together to go to the DOR. They asked to do a quick information of what happened, and we wrote this and I sent it to them.
Okay, but you wrote this yourself, is that right?
Yes,
Okay. And you didn't overhear that conversation that Ms. Flip had with the store clerk about selling to a lady in a wheelchair?
no.
Okay.
But she did right after tell me what she had just heard.
And again, you, neither in October nor in November 1st, you witnessed any illegal sales of cannabis products, is that right?
No, not those two.
And as you testified earlier, you're familiar with the regulations. Do the regulations prohibit mere possession of either mentholated cigarettes or any of the other products that are on this list?
Not the possession, sale of.
Sale of. Okay. Did you hear any of Ms. Flip's conversation with the store clerk after you brought her attention to the backwoods and the other products in the back?
I heard her asking him if he had sold those, and then, no.
Did you hear him deny that?
Yes, and then I did not hear him say about the elderly lady, but
You were the first person to go in the back and see the backwoods, is that right?
Yep.
And there was also a box on the floor?
Yep.
And that box contained most of these products that are on this spreadsheet that we've been talking
some
about?
of it, and then another cooler to the right.
Okay. That box was closed, is that true?
It was, you could see a little bit, it wasn't taped or anything, so it was open a little bit. So I did continue to open it more.
I don't have anything for
Okay.
for Ms. Mahoney.
Terrific.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But I also wouldn't like either give our version of events or have my, whatever the board prefers. I appreciate that you've indulged me thus far.
Yeah, no, I think I would appreciate hearing from Mr. Mahmood.
Remove.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Tariq Mahmood, and I'm the current owner of our project for Rockland Mobile. Just want to say there's no coincidence during my 10+ years doing business at that location, we never have received any citation or violation of any kind of from the Rockland Mobile. My team and I are extremely committed to ensure that we are always follow the law and doing the right thing and keeping our customer healthy and happy. So COVID-19 pandemic had affects everyone and almost all the sector and economy. We were no different, tobacco distributor and manufacturer during the pandemic. Stopped taking returns for the product. They were facing a new state and local laws and regulation, and they were not sure how to deal with it. At that time, in were difficult spot due to the large amount of retailers that were asking to return large amount of product back in 2020. I have collected all return from all my locations and placed them in my log private office after I have reached a deal with the distributor to return these products. At no time we did sell this product with any of the customers. If Ms. Mahoney had conducted an undercover operation at Rockland Mobile, she would have realized that we do not sell any banned or illegal product. Based on my direction, my manager Alam started unlocking and packing all those returns in box as shown in the video was provided.
And
So
we
you
live
guys over inspection take place. You will see on that 90-minute video we submitted the evidence that there's no time that my manager sold any of these products, but simply putting them together to return in those boxes. As a business owner of this location, I'm extremely disappointed by the inspection was conducted, and also was extremely disappointed by the way that my manager was treated by Ms. Phillip and Ms. Mahoney. And I'm sure, my manager, he was the one was there, and he can give you his side of the story, how he was, was disrespected in many different ways, and was called lawyers in many different occasions by Ms. Phillip or Ms. Mahoney. I think it was by Ms. Phillip because she did not interact with him, So, also, I wanted to add this. Inspectors in City of Future must identify themselves, which you'll see in the video, obviously. None of them identified themselves when they walk into the store. He was with the cashier, and it's all recorded on, it's not that anybody can make up a story. It's on the videos. And themselves to the business manager or charge at the location at any other visit. And did not happen in this incident. You can see on the, again, the reference to the video is submitted, Anyway, obviously you guys are official, and we expecting a very much professional behavior from you guys as well, you know. I have, and regarding those menthol cigarettes, we've been having this issue in Boston, I'm sure. The lady behind me, Miss, I don't know what's her name, so she deals with them all day long, you know. So the Boston is one of the craziest hubs you can find. People selling cigarettes on the streets, on the corners. One of my sites happened to be, the site was victim. People were selling the product in front of my stores. And we have many complaints filed to police as well. But I guess, you know, they probably have more urgent work to do instead of addressing this issue. And also we have vandalized by these people my locations because we stopped them to selling the product at our locations, you know. And then I called the Boston Tobacco Control for help for this compliance. One of the compliance officers advised me, you can buy the product from them, or take them, get them out of there, send it back to the manufacturer, or you can, you know, bring it back to the New Hampshire or something. So I have gathered all this product from all of my stores, was kept there till we find a green light from the manufacturer that we can return this product. On that day, Alam was preparing a return 45 minutes before they arrived to the stores. You can see in the video, he prepared everything into the box for me to pick it up so we can send it to the distributor. You know, I am asking the board to dismiss the citation and return all my unlawful seized tobacco products that were taken illegally from my Rockland location. And I just wanted to give a chance for Mr. Alam to say his side of the story as well, because it's okay with you guys, it's not too late. I would like 2 minutes, no more than that, you know, because he is really,
Since he was there, I'll allow 2 minutes.
please.
You can just say what happened, just say what happened.
Yeah, my name is Nasir Alam, and I worked there as a manager more than 10 years. And the day I was busy behind the counter, and because my boss, he told me that we have some products in the office, they are locked, and he gave me the key. That here is the key, and put together in the box. And I was busy, and in order to do that, he sent help, you know, Sadia, she was helping me in the store. And he sent her to help me so she can help me on the counter, and we have the delivery too. And she was working outside, and I was doing that return. And put the box over there, and I one by one, I start, you know, organizing in that box. And I see the box was full, there was no place in there, and then there was some products here and there outside, so I can get another box to put in there. And I was busy behind the counter, and I noticed there was 2 ladies behind the counter already. And one of them, I just was busy with the customer, I didn't know who is behind the counter, and one of them just went to the back room and started searching in the back room. And then she called to the second one, that can you come in here by her name? I hear the name now. And the second one went to inside too. And the third, they opened the box, whatever they do. I was busy with the customer. And they both came outside, and then they introduced me that they were from Rockland Health Department. And they both told me, and I said, okay, if you are from the health department, go ahead and search the store. They look around outside my counter area, they find nothing over there. And after that, she asked me the questions. The question was where these products came from. And I told her that this is my boss. He told me that this product is for return, put together, and that's what I'm doing from last hour. And she told me, liar, you are a liar, and loud. And I was there was other customers, and I am like 67 years old, working for 10 years at the place, and she disrespected me like loud, you are a liar. And after that, and she asked me another question, when did you sell here a last pack of the menthol here? I told her, ma'am, I don't remember. And she told me, you are a liar again. And then after that, she went to inside, she came outside, and she asked me third time, that when did you sell the last pack in here? I said, what I remember that it was banned, the day it was banned, I crushed the broken pack of cigarettes. The day before, I gave it to a lady, she was on the wheelchair chair, asking for help. And that's what I did. The question was that when did you sold or give away a one pack of last one? And that's what she made the story that I admitted that I was selling to a lady on the wheelchair, which is not true. It's not true that they asked me the permission to come behind the counter or search the store, or they identify me before they go inside. I did not know that. The video is available. You can look if she asked me anything before they step inside the store. So in the back room. And I was so disrespected and she said, now in her statement, she said, I was not complying. I'm asking her a question, who put the box in your car? Even I put on the wheeler that box because she wanted that box with her to bring her in the town hall. I put the box on the wheeler and brought it outside. I was so, I comply what I said, she said. But she told me liar, liar, and liar, but nothing.
Okay.
The reason why I want you to hear him, he's 67 years old.
Sure.
Now I'm sure if I tell you something, you're gonna be upset as well. This is not how you treat people, if I tell Mrs. Flay, this is how I'm gonna, my attitude gonna be. She's gonna feel disrespected, obviously, So again, my guys take so much passion and pride what they do. They will not be serving the community for 10 years.
Chairman, can I ask the clerk a question?
Sure.
Do you allow anybody throughout the day to go behind the counter just because? So you just allow people to go behind the counter?
Yes, sometimes people behind the register, some of our, the representative from the companies, like the candy company or the cigarette companies, the people they come, they usually, they come and they say hi before they get in. But if somebody tries to jump in the back of the register, and especially ladies, I would not go, hey, what are you doing here? I would not say that. I just let them come in there because they are ladies, and I was quiet because...
So you let ladies just go into the back room and behind the counter? Let any lady? Doesn't matter?
No, not like that.
Okay.
But
I know, I'm just asking.
Okay. I have a question. So, 10 years, prior to this date, the first, second, did you know Ms. Flip ahead of time?
No.
From prior?
No, I did not.
I'm sorry. I disagree. Because he always asks me whenever I go to mobile, how am I doing?
Okay, thank you.
So my question.
Oh, sorry,
Yes.
Cheryl Sabara has a question in the back.
Okay. Christine, 1 second. Cheryl?
I do have a question. I just wanted to clarify something.
Sure.
You don't need to observe a sale of a flavored tobacco product in order to be in violation of the state regulation. It says that no person shall sell, distribute, cause to be sold or distributed, or offer for sale. And if you have that many products in the store, it's reasonable to assume, unless of course there's other evidence, that they were there to be offered for sale. One of the products actually was a product that was manufactured by a company that was founded in 2020. The effective date of the regulation was June 1st, I believe, of 2020. So if they're packaging up these products to send back, they're over a year old.
Thank you.
Well,
That actually answers one of my questions.
And also,
For
just
clarification.
correct Mrs. Sabara, there's no law says that you cannot put stuff in the stock to return. It does not say in the law. Anything was conducted by the rep was all unprofessional and unlawful. Okay, it does not say in your law they have permission to do certain things, which they did. even though they called the police to take the product, they refuse to take the product as well. You know, they will not because they know the law.
But to clarify that, the police were not there?
The police did come.
They did come?
Yep, the police did come and assist to make sure that there was no issue. And there was no issue. The clerk did help us with the product outside. And I don't believe at any point, and I'm sorry if you feel that I was being rude to you. I was asking you questions and I only wanted the truth. That's all. I didn't call you a liar, and I'm not sure if you...
Okay, I do not want to get into an
All right.
argument like that,
That's
please.
fine.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes, Christine.
Delshawn, can you tell me a little bit about the complaint that was made? What was the exact complaint?
The exact complaint was that Mobile was selling cigarettes on the weekends underneath the counter for sale. And I have heard it before.
Okay, let me stop you there just for a second. So, did this person that complained, had somebody sold this person the products?
That's correct.
So we have a person that called the Board of Health and filed a complaint saying that somebody in the mobile station on such and such a date,
Yep. They didn't
Purchased-
say a date, they just said the weekend.
okay, over the weekend,
Uh-huh.
purchased a product that is not legal to sell
That's correct.
in the store, and that was the complaint.
That was the complaint.
Okay.
And my voice carries, I'm loud in the office, and there was a gentleman that was at the door getting a sticker for his vehicle, and he stated, oh, they've been doing that for years. My son tells me that's where he goes and gets his. So, at that point, I knew I had to act on it.
Okay. So, and this was the weekend prior to this
To
November
yes,
1st
yes.
date?
Yep.
So whatever that weekend was
A
prior?
Halloween weekend, I would assume, yeah.
Okay. So we have some video that was sent?
Yeah, I guess you said there was 4 one-hour videos.
Yes.
There were no timestamps as far as where to look, and
I believe I did email.
I didn't have.
I believe I did email Chris Kenny. And
Okay.
Okay. Are those videos from that particular day
Yes.
that we're talking about here?
Yes.
Okay.
Could I just, if I may, just 3 timestamps, 3 sections that I would just like to highlight since, if possible.
Can I make to this and take a statement
What's that?
to his response? I'd like to respond to.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So I'm happy to hear whatever it is you have to say. If it's going to change that somebody called on this date and complained saying that they received a product from that store on that date. If that's going to change anything
We don't know which date that is.
over the weekend, the Halloween weekend, apparently.
That was not in, the videos that we presented are videos from November 1st. I could ask Mr. Mahmood if
And these, excuse me, these are just videos. There's no audio, correct?
there's no audio because of
Okay.
the
Right.
statutes.
So basically, these videos. I mean, I watched like the first minute of
Sure.
one of them. Then I'm like, well, I don't know, 4 hours to watch.
Sure, no, I understand.
And so basically, these videos will just show at some point Delshawn and Kathleen entering the premises and movement and some interaction, but we're really not going to be able to. It'll be a silent movie.
It is
in
a silent
essence.
movie, but I could describe to you, and I could give you the timestamps if you want to go back.
Okay, and going back to Christine's question, will this change the fact that we have somebody that actually called and and stated that
Filed a complaint.
filed a complaint that they are selling banned products?
Right, I mean, I'm aware this isn't a criminal case, and there's no Sixth Amendment right to confrontation here. But we don't know who this mystery person is, why they called. We have, we don't even know the exact date. I understand it was the weekend. I could ask Mr. Mahmood, or he could, if the video is still available from the weekend prior to November 1st, and if the board would like us to try to find it, we could see if it's available. I don't know how long he keeps his videos, but the videos that we presented from the date of the inspection that we've been talking about tonight, especially the office videos is the one that, in particular. I mean, we did try to give the entire inspection. We didn't hold anything back, but on the there's a timestamp at the top that shows the date, and the time may be an hour behind. That may be an hour off, maybe an hour early. So it says 10:43, but that may have actually been 11:43.
Okay.
Rockland. But at 10:38, you can see, and I can play
If I could ask a question to Mr. Kenny in the back, our town council. Did Kathleen have just cause to enter when she went looking for management in the back to for assistance, and she saw the products out in the open? Does that give her the authority to enter the room for it?
So under the CMR, so this is the 105 CMR 665, and I did talk to Mr. Lewis, attorney about this. That is one of the requirements of the CMR, is that the operation of a retail establishment shall be conditioned on the retailer's owner's consent to unannounced periodic inspections of his or her retail establishment and tobacco products to ensure compliance with 105 CMR 665 and any applicable local regulations, orders, and ordinances. So when you're running a tobacco shop like this, you're pretty much opening yourself up to these.
Okay.
Could I just to clarify that point? We don't contest that they have the right to search and to inspect. We absolutely agree with that. What we're contesting is, first of all, seizure, especially of everything other than the menthol cigarettes with the New Hampshire stamp. Because even if Ms. Mahoney was deputized under the DOR, which is not clear, to seize those New Hampshire cartons, that's just 6 cartons. Everything else on that list was, I could ask Ms. There was no evidence presented that those had New Hampshire stamps. The testimony was just that
No, but they are illegal to sell in the state of Massachusetts, correct?
And some of them were illegal for 2 years, all the vaping products.
Exactly.
For over 2 years.
Right. So we have some very old product here that has not been allowed to be sold in the state of Massachusetts for, as Cheryl mentioned, over 2 years.
You can't even purchase them in the state of, you shouldn't be even able to purchase them in the state of Massachusetts. And there was 5% jewels that were in the package too. So those were also unable to buy.
Yeah, June 1st, 2020.
I was just asking for clarification. So the clarification on the new law is June 1st of 2020, correct?
For combustible.
I'm sorry?
Combustible products.
For combustible
Vaping
products. Okay.
It was June 1st, when the law went into effect.
Okay.
November 2019.
All right.
And again, we're not contesting that it was illegal to sell these products. What our position is that the mobile was not selling these products, and Mr. Mahmood talked about this. I could have him elaborate on. All these products, Mr. Mahmood owns multiple convenience stores, and gas stations, and other similar type businesses all over the Commonwealth, including in Boston. And he lives in Hanover. He's a resident of Hanover. He lives 1 ton over. This is the store that's closest to where he lives. He had brought all of the product to this one location so that he had worked out some sort of arrangement with his distributors. Again, he showed it. Some of this product was very old, and due to COVID, they had stopped. I believe he spoke about this. They had stopped taking returns for a period of time. He had brought everything to this one central location. And if you watch the first 30 minutes of that office video, you can see Mr. Alam physically at the 10:38 mark on the timestamp on the video. You can see Mr. Alam opening the file cabinet where most of this product was. It was a locked file cabinet. He reaches for a key, he puts the key in, that's at 10:38 on the timestamp. I can get you the timestamp on the video. At 11:03, you can see him close the box. And I believe he testified that the box was full, and then you need to go get another box for a couple of other items. And And then at 11:11 on that timestamp, you can see Ms. Mahoney start to open the box and go through the box. All these items were in a box in the back that Mr. Alam had put there that morning. You can see that on the video because it was to be returned. That's why Mr. Mahmood had brought all these products to this one location from all his various stores. That's why there's so much was seized. It wasn't that all of this was being sold out of that store surreptitiously.
All right. Okay, I have a question. When you say returned, what's the process for returning? It's not like calling the local tobacco distributor. They're not going to take it because it's illegal, correct?
I could have Mr. Mahmood.
So the product was in the box, so the reps for certain companies that we do buy the product from, they were going to send somebody to write a return label, and this product is going to ship to the company for the returns. So some of the products supposed to go to Coma.
And so would you get a credit for that?
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
So if you're getting a credit, then you've purchased the products.
My question, do you have receipts for all these? The dates when you bought them, so we can possibly look when the law went into effect, when you bought these?
I can look into it. Obviously this product was old. It was not, it's within it probably was there for a couple of years, So obviously I can look for it, some of the invoices. And even though some of the invoices, I should be able to find it on these manufacturers that I purchased, and they still have the history.
And even the products that were banned in 2019 that the company didn't get established to 2020? Do you have receipts for those?
Okay, I don't know if I have back then 2019, but I was told this manufacturer will take this return and give me the credit or the money back for these products.
Okay.
I just asked her, if the company was established in 2020, how are they creating products in 2019?
That's what I'm saying. If these are old products, when the ban went into effect, was waiting to send them back, how does he have products that were just established in 2020? That was my question.
So
like I mentioned, some of the product was bought from this illegal person who was vandalizing the stores, and I have reported to Board of Health and City of Boston. That's the direction I got.
I'm sorry, could you just clarify that? I just didn't understand what you had said. It's just hard to hear with the masks on.
Some of the product that I mentioned, it was bought from a street guy who was vandalizing my store, and which I have complained a number of times to the City of Police Department of Boston. Then I finally called.
Okay, but what about in Rockland? I'm not concerned about Boston.
Okay.
But I want to know, we just want to know what's going on in Rockland.
I understand. So you purchased that supply in Boston to get rid of it.
Yes.
And brought it back to Rockland. My question is, if you're going to bring it back to return an illegal product, why bring it into a store where it's easier to sell, and especially if you live in Hanover, why not bring it to your home, put it in your garage for storage, pack it up, and return it that way?
When I come to this point, I would have brought it home. I brought it in my office, into a locked cabinet that no one else has the access to it. So I was gathering all the product there, so that I can return it, when the time comes. And if you look at the video, that's what Mr. Alam was exactly doing.
Okay. I think we've discussed this enough. All right. So my view on this, and you can impart anything you would like, Christine, is we have two people that have, one made a formal complaint, and then another happened to overhear that and confirmed it, and confirmed it for, it's been going on for a while. Let's see here, read my little notes here. It's my view that with the quantity and variety of these products, kind of leads more towards distribution. As you stated, these products that you that you had were going to, be returned for a credit. I mean, I look at it as you're not going to get a credit unless you actually purchase through the, proper channels. The company's not going to give you credit just to dispose of something. Let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, basically, I'm just not convinced that the products, were for, personal use. It was mentioned that, it's not, you can certainly have it on your person, but, this is, far beyond that. And as I said, the large quantity, leads towards, it being sold. We have the two people that have, stated that, they have purchased or known people that have purchased these banned products, for a while now. Question as to whether or not, the manager, did state, that, I sell to a little old lady, or what, the mysterious little old lady in the wheelchair. But even besides that, my view is, and do you feel we need to go? I guess I should make a motion or entertain a motion to go ahead with the
I'd like to
with.
comment.
Okay, I'll pause that for a second.
Okay, so I agree with you, Scott. I think it's unfortunate that COVID happened to all of us. And I think that there are a lot of things that were unusual circumstances, and this may very well be one of them. The mistake I believe you made was bringing it all to your store. If you wanted to get rid of it, it should have gone to your home and packed it up there, and not brought it to Rockland, in your store here in Rockland, to pack it up. And I understand it was a back room, and you're the only one that has the key, et cetera, et cetera. I get it. But that was a big mistake, because this is a lot of material here that is illegal, whether it was from 2000, 2019, 2020, I don't care when it was from. It's illegal to sell it now. It was all in the store in Rockland. And it's unfortunate that it was just a timing thing, that somebody filed a complaint and our health agent went, and Kathleen Mahoney went and found that this product was here. If there was no reason for them to go back and look there, if it wasn't there, they wouldn't have had any reason to go look. But they did. And I apologize if anybody was rude to you, because that's not okay. But that's a whole other issue.
I
But
will talk more about that.
That's not
it's
what we're here for
that's
tonight.
not what we're here for. I apologize for that
Yeah,
happening,
I also
however,
apologize for any
because
misunderstanding.
that's not okay.
With communication.
That's not okay. However, this is was all still in the store. So regardless of what the circumstances are, the fact is that these products were there, and we have pictures to prove it. And I think that's sort of my stance, that you have to take responsibility for that. And it's tough. It's a tough hit. But I think that's what needs to happen, in my opinion.
Okay, thank you. As Christine was talking, I was thinking to myself, where it's a state mandate, the fine. Like I stated in the beginning, it's not up to us. I'm not sure if we even need to do a vote on this. I think we should, just to cover all bases.
Yeah, it's not our vote.
But I guess I'd like to entertain a motion to go to abide by the state mandate of the $1,000 fine for the said banned products.
Motion, Grant.
I have a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you. All right. Next on the agenda Review potential amendments to Rockland's local tobacco sales. So regulations with Cheryl Sabara, who's the executive director and senior staff attorney for Mass Associated Health Boards, and Kathleen Mahoney, our South Shore Tobacco coordinator.
Okay, do we have those regulations? Thank you.
Sorry to take so much of your time.
Thank you all for coming.
No worries. Thank you.
Do we need to take a few minutes?
Do you?
5? I'm good.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
Do you want to hear more about tobacco this evening?
Yes.
It is on the agenda.
Let's do it.
Okay,
Do we need Delshon back? She stepped out for a moment.
sure.
Actually,
I don't have anything else up here. Actually, I'm sorry. No, I have, where is
I
it?
submitted a sample template, a draft that my colleagues and I who provide technical assistance.
do we have that?
It's like this.
No. Have not seen that one yet.
Don't
No.
have that.
I think actually we could just, give them the cover sheet. The cover sheet is all easy to do. The checklist. Oh, I don't have that. Can you make a copy so I can absolutely comment? The last time, just the cover sheet. The last time Rockland, from my understanding, I looked at the website today, the regulations that Rockland has for the sale of tobacco products is from 1999.
Okay.
So.
Slightly outdated.
The one that we have, yeah. Yeah, it's the same date. It was, yeah. And since then, the state law has changed significantly. So a lot of what's in the Rockland regulation does not reflect what's in the state law. And Rockland needs to be, Rockland by law now has to enforce the state law.
Right.
I've heard from Kathleen that this board is concerned about certain issues that are not addressed in the state law, but that can be addressed in a local regulation. Because your local regulation
Thank you.
can be stricter than the state law.
Thank you.
It can't be less strict.
Right.
But it can be more strict. So we have this checklist here. You don't have to read the whole regulation, but I'll give it to you. Oh, but I sort of need, you don't have a copy of it.
No, I didn't. I was looking for that. Did you want me to call it?
Yeah, just for the yellow and green sections. Well, no, you know what, I can just keep it, we can give them,
Well,
we can email them.
Okay.
a
Yeah.
copy, because I
Yeah.
emailed it. to
Sure.
you.
Yeah, it's, when
Yeah.
she describes it, you want focus and,
Yeah.
and then we can send it to you and you can put it over.
Sounds good.
So, a couple of things that one of the things, Chair, that I know you are concerned about is you would like the ability to consider suspending or revoking a retailer's permit if you find the offenses to be egregious.
Progressive discipline up to losing their permit.
Correct. And the way the state law now reads is, for the first offense, if it was a sale to someone under the age of 21, you could suspend that permit. But for any other offense, you cannot for the first offense. For the second offense, under the state law, you can suspend. And under the third, you can suspend for even a longer period of time. The issue becomes if you have, but for things that are your own, in your own local regulation, you can also put in suspensions for those. So there is an ability to suspend, but the state law doesn't address egregious behavior. They just address first offense, second offense, third offense within a 3-year period. So if you want to have the ability, and many boards do, want the ability to, I'm revoking this permit, or I think your behavior is so abominable that I'm going to suspend on this first offense because of the nature of what the offense was. We can write that in to a local regulation if that's something that you want to write into a local regulation.
Okay.
There are another section, well, I'll go down the list. The first local decision would be whether you want to not renew permits if there are outstanding fines. It's sort of a no-brainer. It's probably already contained in Chapter 40 on
imagine.
municipal government, but just laying it out is a really good
Sure.
thing to do. And then you could also put in, you're not going to renew the permit if a store sells 3 times to a person under 21, regardless of the tolling period. Just if they do that 3 times, they're out. You just aren't going to renew their permit. Another section, and these are local. These are not contained in the state law. These are all local strategies that you can use or not use. You can pick and choose if that's what you'd like to do. Is to cap or reduce the number of permits, tobacco sales permits in Rockland. And again, this is something you can consider. There are lots of different ways of doing it. You can cap it at, say, 1 more than you currently have in case there's growth and development, and you don't want to. You never want to cap it at less than you currently have because that gets us all into political.
Well, yes.
But maybe 1 more, or you could.
Or just where we're at now.
What are you at now?
We're at 20.
Oh, at 20? I thought it was a little bit higher, but
Yeah.
Or you could cap it in such a way that if someone turns in their tobacco sales permit and no one wants to buy it, that it gets decreased by that permit gets permanently retired.
So like a grandfathered type of thing.
You grandfather in someone who wants to buy. If someone wants to buy the mobile from the current owner, they're going to be able to get that tobacco sales permit. But if the current mobile gets sold and someone turns it into a Dunkin' Donuts, they don't need the tobacco sales permit, and therefore that mobile permit could get permanently retired. It's a generational way of limiting the number of tobacco sales permits. So that's something you could consider.
Do we have the ability to, if we'll just go with the mobile, just for the sake of argument, they go to sell and they're going to keep it, as the same type of business as it is now, but a change in ownership and change in name. Do we have the ability to not allow that permit, the tobacco permit?
Well, I mean, we do that for alcohol licenses. We have a community hearing to determine whether or not it's in the best interest of the town to have that additional alcohol license. You could write that into a regulation if you wanted to. I know at one point Boston was thinking of doing that, where before they would issue a permit, they would hold a hearing. That's certainly something you could do. And you always have the ability not to issue a permit, because a permit is not a right. You don't automatically get a permit. It's a privilege. So because it's a privilege, you have the right to issue it, not issue it, suspend it, or revoke it, as long as you're giving the applicant due process.
so long as you give that
Right.
applicant notice and opportunity to be heard. So, yeah, you can do what, because again, it's a privilege. So
Okay.
you could.
Cheryl, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So, the one that sticks out to me the most is the one that where no permits within 500 feet of a school.
Yeah.
We have schools right behind us, and we have a convenience store that's right there.
What you would do, Delsham, in that case, is you would say no new permits within 500 feet of the school. You're not going to get rid of the ones that are
Already there. Okay.
But you would put in a section that says no new permits.
So if when Tedeschi sold, we could have had that opportunity to not allow the new company in there selling tobacco products.
Yes, depending on how your local regulation was written. But if you had a cap there,
Yeah.
then it would not be a new location. You would, that person would have the right to apply for that permit because it wasn't changing the use of that store. So it would depend on
Okay.
how the regulation was
All
written.
right. And I particularly like the paraphernalia to be. I believe that it's Hanover. You can't sell paraphernalia, any type of paraphernalia, i.e. pipes, because the convenience store that's in front of the schools, you walk in there and that's
Yeah,
all
and-
you see
well, you know
is...
why that is? Because of the cannabis law, our new, not new, but our somewhat new,
Updated.
our updated cannabis law specifically states that anything that is used, that can be used to ingest cannabis is considered marijuana accessories and is therefore legal. So we have two conflicting laws on the books. We've got 94C, which says all that stuff is paraphernalia and can't be sold. And then we have 94D or E, the marijuana law, that says it's all now legal marijuana accessories because it can be used to ingest marijuana. So the way some municipalities are addressing that is they haven't been challenged on it yet. They're putting into their tobacco sales regulation that any of that stuff can only be sold in adult-only retail tobacco stores, which are stores that only let someone in if
Right.
they can demonstrate that they're over the age of 21 and that they only sell tobacco or paraphernalia or incidental to that. So
So
that's
we can have a local?
you could have a
Oh,
local
all
regulation
right.
that would limit where
Those
those products can
pro-
be sold. We have not had the cannabis industry challenge the municipalities that have done that. Framingham's the one that comes to mind.
I get a lot of complaints, a
Yeah.
lot.
Well, that's why, because
Yeah.
it's legal now. We used to require that they at least had a tobacco sales permit. Now we can't do that because of the marijuana law.
I mean, we do have a smoke shop in town.
I passed it,
Yeah.
yes, so that's an
So they
adult
could,
only.
they could sell that
Yeah.
there. And again, I had to keep going back and forth with him because he was selling lottery and he didn't,
Can't sell
yeah.
lottery.
So he did get rid of it, so it's gone. But, because he was complaining that other people are able to sell the paraphernalia and he can't, well, he can and he does, but he's just losing business
Right.
because...
Well, but if he's the only store in town that can sell the paraphernalia,
Yeah.
it might be a wash. Another one is to ban smoking bars. I don't know.
We did. Smoking bars, right?
Did you ban them in
in our-
1999?
No, just recently, didn't we? When we went to the age of 21? Wasn't that part of our regs?
I don't think we did smoking bars, no. I'd have to double check.
All right, so we basically need to go through all the regs, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We need to review the regs.
We
and
need to,
update.
these are
You can go.
We need
Way
to
too-
update
outdated.
What's here.
Through these,
Yeah.
And they need to catch up with the current laws.
You can catch up with the current laws, and if you want to add anything else, you can. If you don't, you certainly don't have to.
Okay.
We
Okay.
can do it so that it's just the current laws. And then you do want to look at the fines, because the state fines are so high. Local fines are still 100, 200, 300 with suspensions. Some municipalities now are having them all be the same fine. That's a decision too.
Okay.
In the
So-
smoking bars, and I know we discussed this in Hanover, Delshon, so I don't know if it's
Oh.
that, they're very hard to enforce for like my job, because in smoking bars, you go in and if you buy a pack of menthol or Juul, you have to consume everything there. So I would be sitting in there waiting for somebody to smoke a whole pack of cigarettes. So I know there was a lot more smoker bars around Massachusetts, but this
We
was
only
a
have
lot.
about 23 in the whole state.
But we don't have any.
We don't have any.
And private clubs do not fall into that?
No.
No. And they don't smoke anymore either in there.
What about outside of the premises?
Well, we do
We
have
do.
those regulations. Definitely we have regulations saying so many feet from a door and entry.
Yep.
A
20, I
school,
think it's 20
municipal
feet, yeah.
buildings.
Yeah.
That's what are those
Yeah,
called, the
no, no,
TSE?
Yeah. So as long as they fall within those parameters, a business could have a smoking area
Outside. yes.
outside.
As long as there's no service. Well, it depends on how you write the regulation.
Okay.
Okay, so we can write the regulations
Whatever
as
we
far
want.
as a restaurant, say.
Oh, well, so I can also send you our sample template for secondhand smoke regulations.
I have those. We have those. That's a part of our regulations.
Okay.
Yep. I can send you guys a copy of
So
those.
Thank you.
I will email them to you, so you can email these too.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
Any other questions on the regulations I can look at?
Let's see.
It's done with tobacco.
Kathleen, do you
No,
have
no,
anything that
as-
you could suggest that because you go out and see all this? Is there anything?
I do know that the blunt wraps are an issue. I do like some of the stuff that Cheryl suggested today. I do like capping, because I think that's really important.
The number of permits?
Yeah,
Yep.
yes. And I do like making the penalties stronger, so if it's a situation that if you get caught selling to a minor, selling illegal stuff, something's going to happen
Mm-hmm.
besides the state. And definitely the smoking bars is something that, as I said, is really hard to enforce. And if we could put the pipes and everything in the dump,
Yeah.
just because.
Yeah, I do like that
Mm.
addition personally.
Retailer she's mentioning, there's a lot, and I see the high school and the
Middle school, yeah.
middle school go up there all the time.
Even the
Oh.
elementary.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do have a question before I lose it again, because I'm getting old. Okay, so for example, the smoke shop, right? Sells 21 and over, product, therefore cannot sell the lottery, where you only have to be 18
Yep.
to purchase. How does that translate to, say, a convenience store that sells tobacco product that you have to be 21 plus?
Because they sell
And-
candy and milk and water. Like the smoke shop cannot sell even bottled water because anybody can walk in there and buy a bottled water. You don't have to be of an age.
And the smoke shop is allowed to sell the higher content, like the 5% of
Yeah.
nicotine. So that's, I wouldn't say, that's why they are.
Yeah, because I'm thinking it's like, all right, we have this one particular store that, cannot sell these items because of the age, and yet here we have another location selling similar product, and yet, a 12-year-old can easily go in there
Yep.
Correct.
No, it's.
and is exposed to the product.
Mm-hmm.
That's why what we've done in Massachusetts is make them, now they're less exposed to the products that actually attract them. the flavor.
Yes,
stuff,
all the flavorings,
sweet
the,
stuff
was it
can't be sold in convenience stores.
Flying Monkey disposable vape,
Yeah, that stuff.
Fruity Pebbles flavor.
Yeah.
Gee, who's that targeting?
Right.
It ain't grandma.
No. And so now an adult-only retail tobacco store can't sell the flavored stuff either, the way
Right.
that the law was written by the state. So the only benefit they have now is they can sell the high concentrated vaping products. That's all they can sell. That's, I mean, we're losing vape shops because they can't sell any
Oh,
flavored
gosh, yeah.
Oh,
Losing.
darn.
Losing them. Yep.
products. I know, it's hard.
As you know,
And you go there, and
I
if
will,
you pay cash, it's cheaper than if you use a card.
well, that's,
Wonder what else they're selling.
well, yeah, I mean, I know that there are a lot of other places that do that because of the fee that's associated.
There is a fee.
You know,
Yes.
with using plastic over things. But, I mean, as you know, and I'll get it out there, I know it's not a popular opinion, but it has always irked me that as a member of the Board of Health, we have to sign a permit that kills people
Yep.
on a daily basis.
Yeah, and then you try to get rid of it like Westminster did, and you end up on, getting reporters from across the
Yeah.
globe, not just the
Exactly.
country.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, like
there.
that article, the one where you can't even ever buy.
That's
Brookline.
Brookline.
Yeah, Brookline.
Eventually yes, I applaud Brookline for tackling this one.
They got sued.
They did.
Oh, I know, yeah, I know, there's active suits with this one, but that's,
You think it will stick?
I think legally they have a good shot, but politically, I don't know.
yeah.
You know, it was done in a tiny island nation, which I think it was Tasmania.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Because it was an island, so you could actually
Yeah.
enforce it. I don't know how you enforce it town by town.
It's hard, being on the border, of other, towns. But hopefully other towns follow suit.
Right.
And eventually, these
They're the first in the country.
these regs will expand out.
And they did it through a bylaw which had to get approved by the Attorney General's office.
Yes, I read that, yes. So, okay.
Okay.
All right, so back to this. As Christine said, we have a lot of reading to do.
Yes.
So we need to go over the regulations, update them as far as, the current state laws.
Yeah,
And-
and we can draft, whatever you want to do, we can draft it and then you can.
So we can get our thoughts down on paper as to what we want to add in here.
Okay.
Another thing, minimum cigar price
Yeah, getting rid of the single cigars.
at a 99 cents and some like Black Mouth, I think they've gone up to $1 something now.
All right.
But other towns have done that, so it's minimum 250 or, so it kind of,
It's getting rid of the single cigars.
Yeah.
So they have to be sold in packs of 2 or
Yeah.
more. And they have to be sold at a cost of $5 or more.
yes.
So it's getting rid of the little cigars, like the
Yeah.
packs of 20.
Right.
They go for like $2.
Yeah.
Now you can, because cigars are determined by weight. So they just made them a little bigger to get around the weight requirement. So at least you get those up to $5. All right.
Okay.
We won't keep.
All right.
Or I won't.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time tonight.
you.
Really appreciate the help.
Thank you.
Carol. Appreciate it. Pleasure,
All right.
always. Thanks.
Those two tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Old business, COVID-19.
COVID-19.
So general COVID-19 update, and then after that, we have a discussion on possible mask policy.
So, part of the COVID update is in my health agent's report. That, I don't know what I did with. Do you guys have a copy of my health agent's
Yep.
report,
Yes.
right?
174 cases.
Yes. So, today, prior to me getting this information to you, we did get additional cases.
Okay.
And I'll note that in tomorrow's case. But currently, we have 174 positive cases, and out of that, 78 people are vaccinated. And that total is from December 1st to the current. Now, with that said, last week, to be honest with you, I don't know the exact date or time, but I worked with the IT guy who helped me put a dashboard on the Rockland Board of Health page where you can click on it and actually see town's totals, how many cases are current, how many people are vaccinated, and how many are Johnson & Johnson, how many Moderna, and how many unvaccinated people. And that's right on our website. A lot of people, some people have called and said, this is great, I love it, and I apologize that it took so long to get it done. We are one of the towns that the state has allotted 6,600 at-home tests, and they will be delivered sometime this week, I am told. I'm not sure. We do not have them in. Rockland fell in the median guideline of 5.3% of poverty level.
Sure.
And so that is why we got them, so that these kits cost. So the idea behind it is to be able to provide these kits to low-income families. My plan is to contact several of our apartment complexes, Rockland Housing Authority, and give them kits, drop them off to their department head, the manager of the facility. That way there, I think it would cut down on a lot of the foot traffic coming in to town hall.
And also the waste.
And also the waste.
Okay, thank you.
Yep,
That was a question I was about to ask.
yep, absolutely.
And how are we going to determine how many they get? Are we going to give out like a certain allotment to
Yeah,
each
I'll determine
one,
that based
and then,
on, yeah.
know.
I will contact them, like I said, the management companies. I'm very familiar with most of them, as I've had inspections there. So I will ask their count, their wish list, if you will. And we want to make sure that we're not just giving them away as stocking stuffers, and that people in fact need them to feel safe around family members, and to stop the spread. It's a part of this stop the spread. So I'll be updating the website, and Doug will update the social media on the distribution and what is how we're going to hand them out.
Okay. Yes, it sounds like I definitely think it sounds like you're going this way, putting the initial preference, for it on, on the low income, the ones that this is intended for, as opposed to just, stop by and get a free test.
Right.
I would ask that people that can afford to purchase their own test, please do so. These are in limited supply, for a larger audience than we have supplies for. So please be responsible, and if you can afford to go to CVS, Walmart, wherever, local urgent care, for a test, then to do so.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Office update?
So, well, oh no, I thought we were going to finish with the COVID. COVID-19. So, that was just part of my health agent's report. As far
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took it out.
That's okay.
Okay.
So, I had gotten, spoken to several people that held meetings in Town Hall over the past 2 weeks. And during those meetings, people assume that it is a cold. People assume that they have strep throat, or they just, I don't know, for some reason, it's not an automatic thought that it could be possibly COVID. So there were people that attended meetings that ended up becoming, testing positive. And so I had a conversation with the town administrator regarding the mask being worn in meetings, in meeting rooms.
Okay.
And so I'm bringing it forward to
Okay.
you.
I
Sorry.
thought there was more coming there.
I know. Look at
Okay.
you.
Yeah, we did. I also did speak with the town administrator about this, and as the uptick in cases is certainly a concern for everybody. With this, we do need to get ahead of the curve, and try and get an end to this pandemic. Christine, do you have any thoughts on this topic? I have more, but
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
When I brought it to Doug's attention, I sent him a text, and he informed me that this is the role that the board should take.
Yep.
So,
yeah, this definitely falls under our jurisdiction. Yeah, definitely. We all know that masks, vaccines and masks together, they work. So I understand this may not be a popular decision. For the public, we're all, I think, probably all tired of wearing masks. It does grate on us, after a while. But unfortunately, as far as the prevention side, it's needed. In addition to being fully vaccinated, and and following, other proper, procedures, for being responsible, like staying home when you're sick.
That's a big
you're not.
one.
That is. It should be a given, but unfortunately, and nowadays it's not just a cold.
Yeah.
And as you said, it's like they thought it was, sinus infection or whatever. COVID symptoms are just so general. I'll admit, when I had COVID originally, I thought it was just my allergies. Until I spiked a fever, and then I realized.
Could I just clarify?
Yep.
Okay. So just to clarify, so this is a discussion regarding having masks just within the town hall?
Well,
Is that what
in
we're
town-owned buildings that hold meetings.
in town
In the
buildings, town-owned
town
buildings?
conference rooms.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Conference rooms.
Conference rooms.
Where
Strictly,
meetings will be held.
we're taking baby steps. Strictly the conference rooms, where mainly because it is almost impossible to socially distance. Granted, right now it's just the three of us. I personally, I would feel comfortable if I was sitting over there. We're certainly socially distanced. I'm socially distanced from you. That's being responsible. Earlier, if Cecilia, was here tonight, it's impossible for us to. We're only three. To socially distance, we had people in the audience. All happily were wearing masks. And can't really comment on the air circulation and purification process, in the room, but I'm sure it's not,
Oh, definitely not. Yeah.
excellent, especially related to COVID. And in reality, we're actually, and I applaud the schools for this, for having their, strict standards. They have some very, precious, people in their buildings that they're trying to keep safe.
Yep.
And this really more aligns us with their policies.
Their DESI policy, yeah.
Okay, so I can file a motion for there to be a mask policy in the town hall or the town-owned conference rooms.
Conference rooms, yes. Do we need to say mask mandate or policy? Doesn't matter.
Just
Mask.
mask policy, I
Mask
would
policy.
say. I think
Mask,
so.
well, actually, the policy would be wearing a mask.
Wear a
Wear a
mask, so
Mandate.
maybe,
Yeah.
I think mandate
Mandate.
is a little stronger word.
In the town owned conference rooms, starting today,
Effective immediately.
effective immediately, to be reviewed in 3 months?
I wouldn't put a time frame on it. I would just say we would,
Well,
and this was a suggestion to me that another town did, and not give one, because then we would have to keep coming back to the policy and renewing it. I would just say, until further notice. That way there, if we wanted to, in a
We can
month.
always, down the road, when eventually, hopefully, COVID is curbed,
Yeah,
and it's more of just, the common, flu, as opposed to what it is now. even
yeah,
though
and the flu too,
and
there's an uptick with the flu.
The flu strain's strong this year.
Yep, it is.
Yeah. And we can always come back and revisit if we think it's, not necessary. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to enact a mask mandate for all attendees in town-owned conference rooms. Is that correct?
correct.
Yep,
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion on the floor.
boards and committees, right?
Excuse me?
As well as boards in the committees wear masks, not just people coming in, not just the.
I said
The
it.
mask mandate is in the room.
Attendance.
Everybody in
Attendees.
attendance.
Okay.
Yep.
You enter
Everybody.
this room,
Yep.
Okay,
you wear a mask.
all right.
This gives you still a little bit of freedom and choice and responsibility to people, outside, whether, I'll just focusing on town hall right here, the different office, office rooms, and whatnot, they can, make their own decision as to whether or not they feel comfortable wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, depending on size, concentration.
Janine and I actually have been wearing our masks for
Yeah.
2 weeks going to the door when we greet people. I'm just waiting for my plexiglass to get put
Well, sure,
back up.
because you cannot socially distance when you're at the door.
Correct, yep. So we're getting
Yeah.
our plexiglass put back, and we've been wearing masks going to the door.
Good. Glad to hear that. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
All right. That was unanimous. Okay. Next on the report is, I guess I could say, the finishing of the health agent report.
Yes. We are excited for Kathy Ryan to start as our PHN. I'm going to start training on Tuesday, December 21st. It's not a lot of training because she's already familiar with Maven. We've got her a cell phone coming. We've got a computer coming. We have a laptop. And so she'll be ready to rock come Wednesday. Let's throw her right to the wing. Here you go. No, but we will work great together. I know that. And
Right.
with her on board, we're still going to continue our great relationship with the school. Kathy will still be a great resource for me and the school for the Board of Health. So it's
Oh,
gonna
absolutely.
be,
Absolutely.
gonna be a
I was
good-
so pleased to hear she was interested in this
Yes.
position.
And then as of today, we have 2 resumes in for the full-time office assistant. We will be scheduling interviews when I speak with Human Resource Coordinator. We will also look into the other applicants that came in from other departments when they hired for the town clerk and hired from the tax collector's office. We'll also go into those and see if there's any that would be a good fit as well to have a resume, to get an interview.
Okay. Time for anything before Christmas, after Christmas?
Oh,
after-
nobody, they will probably start after the
Yeah.
New Year.
Well,
in
as
January.
far as the interviews go,
Yes, probably,
After.
yes, after the holidays.
makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Mattresses, as just a, as I was reminded that our grant I was reminded that our grant for the mattress recycling initiative program expires on January 31st. So back in 2019, I applied for a grant for a mattress grant. And we were granted for 2 years that we got a container for the mattresses, and a company comes and picks up those mattresses for us for free. We charge the residents $25. It gave us a little bit of money to, build up so that when the mattress grant ends, we would have some money to be able to pay for them, the disposal. So after checking around, there was like a variety of prices. According to Mass DEP, an average cost to recycle is $22 to recycle each mattress and box springs through the AFC 90 vendors. So with that said, there's additional costs that come with it. So it's the transport, it's their work or whatever. It ends up becoming to be like $60 a mattress. However, I reached out to other people. They just had a mattress incentive Zoom meeting that I was on. They were talking about how they were going to reduce the prices for municipalities. There's a lot of work. I mean, there's a lot of language in it, whatever. I can send you the information in full of what it's all about. But I think that we need to start thinking about a fee to charge residents to dispose of the mattresses. Right now, as I said, they're $25 to dispose of a mattress, any size, and box spring. The problem we're seeing is that all this illegal dumping, and a lot of people just think that they can just throw a mattress on the street. It's going to get picked up because we don't want that look, but we still have to pay for that.
Yeah, so that does have to come into a factor with the...
It does, yes.
Okay, can we,
We don't need to do it today.
no, I know.
I just want you to know.
So what I would like to ask is we put something out in the next tax bills to, for the trash, not tax bills, I'm sorry, trash bills, to remind people that this grant is up in January. So if they have mattresses,
Get rid of them
get
now.
rid of them now.
Get rid of them now.
Get
Yeah.
rid of them now.
I mean,
After the holidays, you got a month to clean it out, because
Yeah.
we're going to have to make some kind of a decision about mattress disposal next month.
Exactly, yeah, we spoke on that. I
So-
just had this thought. People, I think, always like incentives, to help move the process along. Right now, we would charge, we still have the grant, we're charging $25, building up our coffers to cover these amounts, to subsidize these amounts after it's gone. Perhaps maybe we can suspend the $25 until the end of this grant to have more of an incentive to get rid of them.
I wouldn't start it in December. I would say, because you got to remember too, there's only 2 guys at the recycling center. But I would, definitely entertain a certain time frame in January. We don't have a ton of money, but we would be able to do that.
Can you get us what those fees have brought in? Can you at some
I
point
would know, never be able to know that. How much money? Actually, you know what? I could call the company that picks them up and
Yeah.
ask them if they
They
have a rough
would have a
idea.
tally as to
They would
pieces.
have a tally. Yeah, I
Yeah,
would.
we
ask
don't
them.
we don't separate, itemize rather. We don't itemize up at the. We don't really have the system to itemize up there.
They do, but I don't. Yeah, they do. Unfortunately, that piece of recycling piece was Kathy's piece. So when
No.
I get all their daily material sheets in, I haven't even had time to look at them. I have September to go through.
Okay, so, yeah,
But
so
I can figure
let's,
that out.
if
How
we
many?
can, put
Yeah.
that on
Yeah.
the trash bill to
Yeah.
Yeah, the
remind
next
people in
time-
general.
Trash bill, and also, it's mentioned,
On the
on the
website,
website, or the town social media page,
Yeah,
get
do
it
you
out
want-
there.
All right, so we don't, this isn't something that, I was just gonna look at a date. We could do like the first 2 weekends, like Sunday, the first, or only on Sundays. How about that? The facility's open 8:30 to 4:30. Like give them Sundays, and then that way, we could do that.
Sundays in
In
January.
January?
are there,
Or
just out of curiosity, why are you saying Sundays versus Saturday, Sunday?
Well, it's 8:30 to 4:30. I mean, it's 8:30 to 11:30 on Sunday. The days are really short.
Yeah,
Or,
but that's,
I
that,
guess,
that,
yeah.
that,
I don't like that
yeah.
idea in
That
terms
doesn't really
of
sell
really
the
limiting
idea.
people to a 2-hour, I mean,
We
that's
only-
not
we-
giving them a lot of time.
Yeah, we have basically the 2 staff members up there,
Yeah,
Are they both there on Saturdays?
yep,
and they're both there on Sundays?
yep.
Okay.
Right now, with the holiday, Christmas is Saturday, New Year's Day is Saturday, so it's gonna be closed. So that's why I chose Sunday.
All right. But,
So what I would think might make a little bit, just thinking in terms of how busy things will be at the recycle center with people, coming and going, bringing trees and things like that after the holiday. It might be, is it really extra busy
No?
the couple of weekends
Yeah.
after Christmas?
After Christmas, in January. We could do free mattress January.
yeah, up to that. I'm looking at the calendar. Will they be open January 2nd, that first Sunday?
Yes.
Okay, so if we go with the Saturday and Sundays, not including the first, obviously because of the holiday, but if we go with 2, 8, 9, 15, 16, 22, 23, 29, 30,
Yeah,
that gives us 9
okay,
dates
all right.
for it.
Oh, Christine, thank you. Yes, I agree. Okay,
So let's,
free mattress January on the weekends.
yeah, exactly. Like Christine said, let's get out into our next batch, message on the next batch of trash bills, town website, social media, get the word out.
Do we need to vote on that? I don't know.
I don't know. As far as that, no, I don't think we need to.
Okay.
Oh, I could certainly entertain a motion, I guess.
I think it's fine, but.
What's that?
We don't need to vote on that.
I don't think
No,
so.
no. I don't see any reason
Yeah.
why not. I think if we were going to, as we started saying, set a price going forward, I think we can table that
Yeah.
to the January meeting.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay,
That will need a vote.
all right. And I will put that on the website, and I will have Doug push that out,
Great.
social media.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And,
The RDP grant, and another thing too is we are able to use RDP funds, grant funds, for disposal of mattresses too. So with that said, I don't know if you guys remember, back a little bit ago, we had no totes at all. So I purchased 200 totes and used $15,000 of the previous year's RDP grant. This year, this May, I had the opportunity to apply for the grant again, and this year I was awarded $19,800 through the Sustainable Material Recovery Program, which is so helpful because we could use that money for disposal costs, anything to do with recycling. So I'm happy and excited.
Awesome.
Just
Thank you.
You have any questions on that?
No,
Okay.
we're
And
aware of it.
the vouchers will be expiring on December 31st. So, and there is no exceptions. You cannot go to the recycling center with it on Sunday the 2nd you will not be able to use it.
But if you have a mattress, it'll be free.
But if you have a mattress, it will be free. Yes. Regarding the PHE grant, I'm still waiting on how funding will be dispersed by the lead community.
I'm sorry, refresh my memory, what's the PHA?
The Public Health Excellent Grant,
Okay.
it's for extra services. It's for money to use towards a public health agent, inspectors, office work, so Title V inspector. So I'm just waiting to see what Rockland will get and when they will get it.
Okay.
But I am in the mix, and I'm so happy to be in the mix. I was in a group with other towns that didn't feel they needed it or they wanted it. And I kind of was bummed out. So at a Zoom meeting, I expressed my concerns that, my group didn't think that they needed it. And there was no one really like fighting for it except for me. And so he said, I'll put you in another group. And he did. And I emailed him today and he said, I said, no news is good news, right? And he came back and he emailed me right away. And he was like, don't worry about Rockland. I've got you. I promise you have my word. So,
Okay, good.
yeah,
Great.
so I'm excited about that.
Excellent.
Again, always encouraging people to get the Rockland Trash app. This is a great resource, especially with the winter months, the snow's coming. If they're in the event that we need to cancel trash pickup, you'd be notified. It is a really great tool. And other than that, the Rockland Board of Health wishes everybody a happy and safe holiday.
Yes, yes. I hope everybody has a happy and healthy new year.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
And please,
2021.
I will say,
Bye-bye.
please be responsible during the holidays with being proactive with social distancing and whatnot. It's not a nice, happy thing to say. I hate to have to think about it, but I'm not looking forward to the spike in cases after the holidays.
No.
I mean, unfortunately, we know that's going to come because that's just, well, human nature. So,
It's also
All
life
right.
with COVID.
yeah,
That's not going away anytime soon,
no, it's not.
so.
All right. So that being said, I guess I could entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All in favor? It's unanimous.